What's going on, Movie Meals? Still in the cabin, haven't changed yet. I know videos have been struggling to get out. It's been a crazy summer, but it's been relaxing. It's been fantastic. I will continue to say that. I hope yours has been as amazing, as fantastic as Kyle and I's have. Soon we will be together in a couple weeks, so then we'll get back to making easier videos. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I want to give it a quick non-spoiler review. So let's just jump into the positives. I liked it. I liked this movie. I really, I try really hard not to go in with expectations, and I think I did this time. I think I went in really, really excited, and I thought it was good. I think I thought there were some Tarantino movies I like better. I said positives, now I sound like I'm in negatives. Positives. All the performances are fantastic. I thought it's really Brad's movie than anybody else's, is what it feels like. But Brad, Leo, they bring some serious talent to this film, and Margot is great as Sharon Tate. The supporting cast is really good. I really liked the beginning. I thought the middle was okay, and then it really ramped it up, and then the middle, I was like, okay, here we go. This is towards the end, or start of the third act, I was like, this is good, and then the third act is fantastic. It's phenomenal. I loved it. I adored it. It was Tarantino. Most of the movie doesn't really feel like Tarantino until the end, I thought, which I guess will transition to some negatives, which was a problem for me. I thought the script wasn't that amazing this time for Tarantino. Not necessarily the dialogue, but the way it was structured. I thought because of the second act, it did drag a little bit. And there was no real stakes in this story. There really is not. I went in kind of thinking this was going to build to Sharon Tate and how he was going to change history, and it doesn't really build to it. It just kind of happens. You just kind of watch things happen. You're just watching great actors act, which is fine. It's good. It's just, it's not all-time great Tarantino to me, like Django is to me, or Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, some of those ones. So I did really enjoy it. I do think it needs a second viewing, maybe on a second viewing I might like it a lot more, or love it a lot more, because I do really like it. But it does drag a little bit in that middle second act, but there are some parts with Brad that I really loved. All the celebrities kind of just have cameos, and they didn't really have big roles, and at that point it was like, okay, it felt like we were just kind of putting people in to put them in, and that did bother me a little bit. But again, that third act is phenomenal. I loved the third act. I thought it was funny. It was violent. It's awesome, and that's what I really, really, really did dig. I loved the ending. It took a little bit to get there for me, but that's just me. But guys, I'd still recommend go seeing it. It is long, but hey, if you love long movies, go. I could see how some people who aren't big Tarantino fans might want to wait. For me, I had to go. I will probably go again because I'd like to see it twice.
Let's talk about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino. And I gotta say, when it comes to this one, he doesn't disappoint once again. Tarantino is the best in the business. He's one of the best directors, one of the best writers, and it shows once again in this one. I feel like this movie is entertaining. It's a bit of a slow burner, similar to some of his, but I think this one especially is for the most part. I'll get to that later, but I feel like it's still entertaining because he has written such a great not intelligent story, but just a story that really has you thinking a lot more than I think some of his other ones usually have. And what I mean by that is it has you thinking about these characters and the journeys that we're seeing them going through, because it's set in 60s Hollywood. It shows three different characters, one of them including Sharon Tate, who is treated well in this version. So if anyone was concerned about that, don't worry, he does treat that character very well. But for the three of them, when it comes to Leonardo DiCaprio's character, Margot Robbie, who plays Sharon Tate, and Brad Pitt's character, they're all treated very well. We go through their own individual stories. Yes, they converge here and there a lot of the times, but really they're all really centered in their own worlds. One's from a world to where he feels like it's not, the roles aren't there for him anymore, where he feels like he's getting pushed out of the business while everyone else is coming in. Another character, Brad Pitt's character, who's friends with Leo too, he already has felt that kind of when it comes to him being a stuntman. He's being pushed out, but he already knows it, so he's just embracing the life in Hollywood as best he can, while Sharon Tate is known for being like the up-and-comer who's really excited to be a part of this business. And I think what this movie does well is that it shows what they're going through. It tells us a bit, but it does a lot more showing, which makes this movie really stretch itself out narratively. And I think some people might be bothered by that. I think they'll want a bit more of, you know, the Tarantino-isms, where we see all the fast-talking dialogue, where we see all the blood and action scenes that he usually is known for. But and you'll still get the Tarantino-isms. Like, don't worry, this is still a very Tarantino movie for sure. But I just feel like this one narratively was just a lot of storytelling for just these characters and delving into them a lot more, which made the story feel longer. And I mean, it is longer. It's 3 hours, but it just feels longer because of the way the story is being told. But I really like that, though. I really like that this was a very tame piece for the most part up until the ending, which is really cool. But I won't get into that part. But I really liked that Tarantino was kind of able to push himself back a bit and be like, okay, let me talk about what I enjoy about Hollywood, what Hollywood feels like to me, not just in the 60s, but maybe also for today, maybe for himself, that he could be feeling some of these ways as the characters do in the business today. I don't know. I certainly felt like that in some moments, which I appreciate as well. But I think for these characters, for them personally, I thought that their stories were very well told. I felt like the atmosphere of this movie was also shown really well. It really matched to the characters' traits. It really matched to the world that they were living in at the 60s. And I think it was very smart of Tarantino to kind of tell that story in that type of way. Like I said, I don't think this movie is going to be for everyone. I think for some Tarantino fans, they may not like this quite as much as some of his other works, but I do floor people to give it a chance, though, because once you kind of understand that you're going to have to maybe not think on another level per se, but just kind of just be able to see what Tarantino's trying to show you through the characters, and instead of straightforward on telling you and then having, you know, maybe some action involved or something. I hope that kind of made sense. It was very hard for me to kind of describe what this movie was going to be about and what I really liked about it. So I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Maybe Alex will explain it better, because I know that he had the similar types of ideas that I was having anyway. So,
but what did you guys think? Please comment below. Let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, share. And hey, as always, thanks for watching, Mom. See you guys.